Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came bottling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah! We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
All right, everyone, this is Cody Johnson with the Thin Blue Line Outdoors. This is podcast number 60, big 60. And one thing that's awesome about this now is hopefully we're going to find out, knock on wood here, I have high-speed internet at the moment, which I'm in the boonies here. We finally got it.
Boom has joined the 21st century.
I know, so I think this
Taking the hamster off of the wheel,
yeah.
powering his generator for his little internet.
Oh man, took some conniving to figure it out, but so far we've had it for about a week, and it seems to be working well.
It seems a
So
little smoother right now.
it does. It does.
So now, are you? It's the Cube, right? Verizon like 5G Cube.
Yep. And it's all the way upstairs in my living room right now. And I'm in my podcast studio in the basement, and so far so good. So far so good. I don't want to jinx it.
I won't even get into that conversation.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm here with Jesse. Jesse, since last time he's been on the podcast, has had some life changes, man.
This little one.
Do you even know? I don't remember what time when you were on the podcast last. Was your doe last October?
I think so. That was the last time we podcast. No, it was your buck.
Oh yes.
Remember we did the day of your buck.
Yep. So it's been a minute before you've been on the
long
podcast. However,
kind of fitting that it is 60. That was my college football number. 60.
Yeah, it was. It was my football number for a while.
And my dad just turned 60 this week.
Oh, so
superstition.
Got some good things going maybe for us. But yeah, anyway, Jesse's had some life changes. We're gonna let him talk about it in here in a minute. And you guys have probably been seeing Jesse's mug on the channel way more here lately because like I said in some other earlier content and podcasts, Ryan, Jesse, Kyle have really been helping me out with the content here lately and doing some social media. We actually have a little side bet going on right now. And
I'm not doing so well.
Ryan's winning, but here's the weird thing. Ryan's winning, but I think the video that actually has the most views is mine with featuring you. So,
Yeah, I didn't have the that's Ryan.
Yeah.
You gotta we always knew I was born to be out in front as a star, not necessarily behind the scenes, obviously.
Yeah. So, Jesse, you just want to tell everybody what's going on?
Yeah. Well, we have moved to Wisconsin. The one that's right next to East Wisconsin. Everybody makes fun of me for calling it Wisconsin. We moved here in June. I got a new job. I'm assistant principal at a K-8 building up here. It's I'm assistant principal at a K-8 building. Nothing against Illinois. Really enjoyed Illinois. But we just had a lot of friends and family up here as well. And we were traveling up here quite a bit anyway. And so, when you're going to a different state once a month, you might want to reconsider going to that state. Mm-hmm. Plus, I did love where I worked at, but now I'm as the assistant principal, I work 1 month less. That means one more month with the kiddos in the summertime. Unfortunately, I can't take that month off, late October and November. They kind of frown upon that in education, but and I am still making more money than I did down there. So it's been a great move. We haven't necessarily found, and the best part, I should have said this, best part is Marshall's now going to my school as a kindergartner. So him and I go to school, work every day, and I get to see him thrive in his element. And I try to stay I'm not going to be that parent or that staff member that goes in and like, hey, how's it going every day to my kid? I kind of just stay afar, let him do his own thing, let him have his own space.
Yep.
But no, it's been going well. Right now we're renting. We sold our house within a day.
Very quick.
for over asking price too, but then that's what you're buying into. So we're looking well over what our not well over our budget is now, but we first bought a house like well over that amount, and we're finding houses that are just not even as good as what we just left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the duplex we have is very nice. We're enjoying it. Yeah, Emily got a new job, got a new daycare, done lots of fun things already while we're up here. Got settled in. So, only thing I have not found is actually any private land to hunt. I have put lots of years letting everybody know that I work with and that I interact with. Hey, I'm a hunter, and I know how to work. I know how to use my hands. If you need help with anything, let me know, and maybe I can help you with some of your deer problems you may be having.
Yep.
Or if you have coyotes, if you have a coyote issue, I know a guy.
I know.
That guy's me. I can help you. So, but anybody's ever hunted Wisconsin or lived there knows that there's a wealth of public land opportunities. A lot more in Illinois. It was so much easier to, and I don't know if you want to dive into it, if you have any questions about my life updates, but that was it. So when you move states, you get a new license and things like that. And I was kind of dragging my feet on it a little bit. And I thought, I'll admit I didn't do my research beforehand. I know a buddy who moved out to Colorado, and he had to wait like a whole year of residency before he could be a resident hunter in Colorado.
Yep.
That's not the case here in Wisconsin. So I found out all you need is your driver's license that shows Wisconsin, and then you're good to go. So as soon as I found it out that next day, I went and I got my license, and started going on to their Go Wild DNR site. Yep. I'm telling you, the process was so smooth. I went in there, I put in my info, and then picked the licenses, the harvest authorizations. Since I've never bought any of that stuff in Wisconsin, it was discounted for me. I think I got, all in all, I have a fall turkey tag and license, and I think there's a little stamp with it. I have 2 doe tags for 2 different counties, a buck tag, and so that's both gun and archery and everything I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
And then I think I purchased 1 extra doe tag up in a county where hopefully my uncle-in-law will take me up to deer camp for gun season.
Have you asked him yet, or is this asking?
No, I'm just slow playing. I'm actually, my other uncle-in-law, we've been connected and we want to get out and hunt together. He's got a crossbow. He's retired. He just moved up from Texas.
Okay.
Yep. He's about 40 minutes away. Yeah, John was on
I was thinking it has to be John. We have
so him and I have been trying to connect, and so him and I are gonna go out bow hunting, and I might just say, hey John, hey, maybe because he gets to go over there, like that's already set in stone. Maybe talk to James. Maybe just maybe I can get on that hunt.
Yeah.
Ryan keeps going, like, just man up and just ask. I just hate asking people.
Yep.
How do I say it? I hate asking family members for that kind of thing.
Yep.
But
I get it.
If I don't know you, I'll offer services to you, and then I'll go hunt. Like, I know these guys would be like, no, like, you're not going to help me, just kind of do it, and just it feels weird.
Yep. No, but I'm with you. Well, I mean, we had that conversation before you guys started taking over content for me. I've been doing it as a one-man show this whole time, essentially, other than you guys filming and giving me the content. I mean, you 4 essentially said, Cody, enough. You're going to accept our help. You're going to take it.
It's almost like we had an intervention for you. Like,
it honestly has made it so much easier for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Good. And I do like it. It's been fun. It's kind of today, actually, one of the maintenance guys at my new school, he stopped by before he left. We were just chatting about things. I don't even know how it got brought up, but I don't even know. We were talking about hunting or something. And I brought up Timberline Outdoors, and I've never mentioned it to him before. And he goes, yeah, I've heard of that. I said, I go, have we talked about it or anything? He goes, no, I saw it somewhere. And he just kept going all these two things. And he finally went to TikTok.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, yeah, we're on TikTok, and he's just kind of describing things like, I know exactly what video you're talking about, things like that. And he goes,
Yeah,
and
that's good.
I've never had this conversation before, so somehow it showed up.
Do you not recognize
But
you? Do you not recognize
no,
you?
not yet. No, apparently not. He's not hard. I don't think he's followed it yet. So
Okay.
it might be one of those things where him and I were talking about hunting, and
Mhm.
how our phones just know everything. So maybe our phone's connected somehow in that way and said, "Hey, bud, check this out."
That's funny.
I'll probably go, hopefully, like and subscribe now.
Yeah.
But oh no, it's because I told I was doing a podcast tonight.
Okay.
He
Got
goes,
it.
"Oh, so you and your buddy just gonna listen to a podcast?" I go, "No, we're filming one. We're doing it."
Yep. Yep.
Um, but yeah, I got all those tags and the licenses for it for I think $40 total.
Yeah.
And even the gun ones, they're not county specific, like the main ones. When I bought an extra doe tag, that one had to be county specific. Or when I got my, because when you buy the boat or the buck tag, you get kind of 2 free doe tags that go with it. But those you have to select certain counties
Okay.
or
Gotcha.
certain zones. But yeah, even my gun tags, I could go anywhere in Wisconsin and use, which is awesome. So that started that whole process. And then I was like, well, damn, I got to find somewhere to hunt, obviously. And then that's when, because the principal at the school, he's a big hunter too. He's fortunate. He doesn't own the land. It's right out his back door, his backyard. I think it's an old neighbor lady who just has a bunch of acreage and is giving him permission to hunt.
Yeah.
Essentially. And he could do whatever, he could do food plots, all of that. So I don't think he pays any money for it. So he'd find me one of those old gals.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I mean, you got permission before. I mean, man, that Mercer County farm, even though it's small, you guys have
It
had
took me,
great success. Great success.
yeah, and that took me again, like that was just a year building a relationship, things like that. So I think I'm kind of in that boat right now.
Yeah.
Ryan was like, go around there because there's a bunch like lines where we're living now. It is like farm fields everywhere, and like I can drive around like that could be a great spot. Like on my runs, I'm like, well, there's some deer there, there's some deer there. But everybody hunts here. I mean, literally everybody hunts here.
Yep.
And then
Which
to
is
go
good
knock on the door.
It's good that you get to discuss hunting all the time, but you're competing with those people
all the time. And I mean, we could be, I don't know where our house is going to be in a year. So to get permission, again, another hour away or something like that, that's not going to be beneficial for what I'm able to do. I don't want to have to do that again.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go quite a few times and then after, like at night, and come back and not have to do the camping. But don't get me wrong, that's fun. Deer camp is a lot of fun.
Oh, I love deer.
But then that really limits the amount of times I go.
Correct.
Because of what it does to the home life.
I understand 100%.
So,
no, I'm with you on that, man. I love my kids, but they definitely get in the way of hunting. But
yeah,
like Remy, which we'll bring up your hunts here in a second. Like I told my daughter today, my daughter is 4 years old. Told her, like, hey, deer season's coming up, and she's like, can we go hunting? I'm like, yep, we'll go sometime that first week of October. I'll take her out there. We'll sit in our little tent blind. Hopefully we see something.
Yeah,
have a good time with
that's
her.
our hope too. And it's awesome. I got Marshall and Walter, who are soon to be 6 and 4. Both are 5 and 3, but like in a couple of weeks, Marshall's going to be 6. In a month, Walter will be 4. They came with me last Sunday in my first opening weekend, and like Marshall just remembers from that first hunt, and he remembers everything about it to where when we first went out, it had to be the same. Like I got the same brownies. Yeah, I got the cotton brownies. Hell yeah. And I had to go in and find chocolate donuts. Yeah. We had to settle for a different chocolate donut, but he was cool with that.
Yep.
But the thing that he got hung up on, and like it worked out in the end, was I said, all right, guys, we're just gonna go out and like we're just gonna sit in chairs in their trees, like because my blind right now is down in the Lido,
Mm-hmm.
all set up, ready to go. And I'm like, we don't have blind. We're gonna set. He goes, no, we don't have a tent. Like, what do you mean we don't have a tent? We got to be in the tent. Oh, guess who got a new blind last Sunday?
Yeah, but it looks a lot better with him going to your wife and saying, "We need this blood," than you.
Exactly. There was no. She came with us to buy it.
Perfect,
You
perfect,
know?
perfect. That's awesome.
Oh,
I didn't know
and
that part. You didn't tell me that part. That's funny.
oh yes, oh yeah. And
Yeah.
then she's the one that was also like, hey, Marshall needs some arrows for his bow.
Mm-hmm.
We went down, got some more arrows for his bow. Like slowly reeling it in. Slowly reeling it in.
That's awesome. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
it's great. And like he was like they're hooked. Like Walter wants to go out. Walter, they did very well. Like minimal phone time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, at this day and age, like there's just you're gonna have to do that if you want any chance of seeing a deer. And
Mm-hmm.
like at this point in time, it's not even that I want to get one close enough to shoot. That'd be cool. I'm not sure how they would react to it at this point in time, but
Yeah.
that's a lesson I'm going to find out when it happens.
Yep. Yep.
But they, anyway, just get them to be quiet to even see a deer. But there was this, I would say, majority of the time, Walter was just sitting on my lap, just watching the field. And then Marshall would be on the phone a little bit, and then he would get up with the rangefinder, binoculars, and glass, and do all that.
Yep.
And the funniest part, the coolest part was it was a little windy, and there was a stick or a leaf hitting the back of the blind. It was rubbing on it and was making a noise, and their eyes go. They look back at it. I was like, I was at the window. So they did it, and like Marshall's poking his head out. He comes back, I think it's just the stick. I think it's just the leaf. So it is, bud. It is. You're good.
That's
So,
funny.
oh yeah, they had such a blast. We had to establish the P corner inside the blind. So they enjoyed that too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
But we
funny.
had a blast. We didn't see anything. We did not make it until shooting light though. Um, on our way out that night though, kind of how this, and I'll get back to what kind of land it is, but how it's set up, it's kind of broken into quadrants, and there's we're in this first field that you walked in on, like, and it's beans this year. Then there's this tree line.
Mm-hmm.
There's a field behind that,
Mm-hmm.
and that field's cut in half with a grassy area, and there's another field. And then behind all of that's heavy woods, and even there's like a pond or lake back there.
Yeah.
And so there's a guy who was there my first day there, has a blind set up in the corner of this field where there's a grass alley. On our way out, we saw about 3 or 4 deer kind of heading his way. So hopefully he was successful. Hopefully got one. Because I kind of think I may have ruined his hunt the day before.
And I say I can't wait till you get to this.
Oh. So with not having access to land up here, what I was hunting on, which is I found something 20 minutes away. It's fantastic. Literally, that night I went hunting, I was home, showered, and was able to help get the boys in bed. You know what I mean?
That's big.
Like, and that makes it less stressful on home life. If it's less stressful on home life, I get to go more, right?
Yep.
And then I don't feel as guilty when I do go because I know, like, I'm not missing out on big things going on, but B, then I can help.
Yep.
So it's called voluntary public access here, BPA land. And so it's private landowners that open up their land to hunt and fish and sometimes hike, things like that. And they just get, essentially the state pays the lease, is how I'm explaining it. They pay the taxes, they get a tax break, the state pays the lease for people to go hunt. Anyway, this was like 20 minutes from my house. So then we have soccer Saturday morning of opening day. Got the soccer game done, and then the wife and kids went to do something with some of our friends, and then I went and started hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I get there, pull up, and there's already 2 cars there. And I don't know, naiveness. I mean, part of me is like, well, it's really warm. It's opening day. Like maybe nobody's out here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe nobody knows this exists. You know, maybe they're like, because there's some different options around us. Wow, that was dumb. People know
Yep.
they didn't care it was warm. It's open today.
Yep.
So I got this climber from a buddy a couple years ago. I've never used it. I was supposed to use it on the bear hunt. Then I got the job, so I didn't go on the bear hunt. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. Got this climber strapped to my back. I'm like on the way out, like it was perfect. Like I had everything on there. My backpack was strapped to the climber, so it wasn't moving or shaking. Like the climber was sitting right on me. I ended up to keep the climber from not moving. I used a ratchet strap around it, and then like a plus sign on it. I was able to ratchet it down so it didn't move. And then on my way out, this group of guys come out, and they were squirrel hunting. So they had guns, and at first I was like, "The fuck? Like it's not gun season. Like what are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we're squirrel hunting. We ran into another guy. He's over in this field bow hunting. Like, so we decided we're just gonna be not mess about with it. So perfect. So they told me where he was, which was great for me because I saw an aerial map. I was like, well, I want to be more on the opposite side of him. Kind of the same field, but shot at. So then just walking out. Oh, it's a great day. This is awesome. This is fantastic. Yeah, here we go. And I see sign of deer. There's deer poop. There's prints, everything. Now I'm a little older, but deer have been there.
Yep.
Sweet, this is awesome. It's way better than I thought it was gonna be. Cool. Like there's obvious sign of deer, and it's really easy to get into. And then I go through the first tree line, and that was a little like just thick brush to go through. It's not terrible. So now I'm in my area where I want to be, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to scout for any trees. And I got out there early to do this because I'm like, I want to be in a tree by like 3. Like my goal is to be in a tree, set up, everything ready to roll.
Yeah.
Like relaxing, eating my cosmic brownie at 3. Okay. And this is like 1:30, maybe. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And I start looking. I'm like, there is not a straight tree in this freaking place. Every tree was like growing out like this. And I'm like, what in the heck? And they say within the rules of this voluntary public access is that you cannot change the land. So I can't go out there and like cut these major branches off or create shooting lanes or like take down anything. So now I met a guy out there who knows the guy who kind of owns the land, and he said he doesn't really care. He goes, as long as you're not dropping trees, then you're fine. But
you still don't playing that game then.
No, I'm not doing that. Like, no. Right? And so I'm like, gosh, dang, man, there's not a single freaking tree for me to climb up in this. And then, so knowing where that guy was, I walked maybe like a 40-yard U around the other field. And I finally was okay. I think I spot one. It's kind of far back off. I was able to have some branches naturally break to clear up some more lanes.
Yeah.
And like, all right, I'm gonna try this climber thing. The problem was like the tree it would go straight and then it would go whoop and then it would come back up. And like where the whoop was, it had a little bit above it that was straight and then it started going really off. So I was like, if I can just get maybe the seat, I'm gonna call it the whoop. What do you call it? The curve of the tree. Obviously, that's the real word for it.
Educating our youth, people.
Educating the youth. I was gonna try to get the seating part of the climber above the whoop and just had the feet below, because then they would have lined up perfectly. No, I got there. I'm like, all right, let's get us a go. Like, I've tested this climber a few times back in Illinois. I had really straight trees in my front yard. I was able to test on. I was like, this was amazing. And then it went downhill from there. I spent 30, 40 minutes trying to get this work, figuring out. Like, it seemed like almost every time I would like get up a little bit and I would go to readjust, but I'll just slide down again. I'm like, or I would get up and I'd have it, and the seating part would be sticking out this far, and then the foot platform is underneath me.
Yep.
So then to the point like I'm sitting and I'm like leaning like this, and it was not happening. It just was not happening. And in that meantime, like in the early stages where I was still naive and young and thinking this was all going to be hunky dory, I see a group of turkeys like 100 yards this way in the opening, and I'm like, okay, well, A, I don't think they're going to make their way down here. I'm making way too much noise trying to get this set up. B, if I just stop what I'm doing, go on a stock, I'm going to scare them. Like there was no cover.
Yeah.
So my best hope was to try to get up the tree real quick and see if they come.
Yeah.
Well, they disappear within 5 minutes anyway. So finally, I'm like, fuck this. And then I unstrap my tree stand and I try to ratchet everything back up. Unfortunately, this time how the ratchet laid is now that instead of being out of my way, it's in the small of my back, like literally like the ratchet's there, and I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not hunting anyways. I carry a little bit. This will be fine. So on my way in, there was a bunch of down timber, a bunch of trees they must have cut down. They piled it all up. I'm like, that's a good natural blind,
Yep.
Went to that spot just to look. Where I originally wanted to go was there was no way I was going to be able to sit back there and get an arrow out of the tall grass.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, it's 2:15. I want to be sitting ready to go and eating Little Debbie's by 3:00. I'm like, all right, I have nothing to lose here. I literally throw my climber down in some tall grass, have my backpack and my bow on, and I go and I sit right on top of that log pile. And like I'm just sitting like this. I have my bow next to me. I can see everything in front of me. And I'm like, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. Like this is not natural. Like what's like this, the people are gonna see me, deer are gonna see me. Like this is not happening. There's no good place for me to put my bow to where if something does come, I'm gonna have to do a big movement to go get it. There's literally different animal crap all around too.
Yep.
And so it's just stinking. And I'm like, fuck this. I got to come up with something different. And so as I'm sitting there, I'm looking across the field, and what I thought was the guy's blind. As I finally got my binoculars out, I'm like, well, that's just like a red bush. I thought he just had a faded out blind.
Yeah.
And there's some nice trees by it. I was like, okay, and they look big. So, all right. New game plan. Let's pack up over there and I'll set up over there. Walk all over there.
Yep.
And the trees are not thick enough at all. Not at all. And I'm like, okay. And there's one that would probably do it, but it's so far back into it, there's zero shooting lanes.
Yeah.
So, and this is where this guy comes into play. So I'm at this like red bush kind of area. I don't see the blind from where I'm at. I find out later on because I'm in a different spot later on, and we'll get to that part of the story. I was probably 40 yards or so away from that dude, making all this noise, cursing, doing all this stuff, walking around. Because at this point in time too, when I hook up my backpack to my climber, it's no longer the when I first got out there. So every time I'm walking, it's shifting my climber. So I'm just like almost falling. It's hitting me in the back of the legs. So then I go back to the original tree line.
Yep.
I'm like, I'll scout that for a straight tree. I think I see something over there. I get there. There's a tree that's plausible, and it's covered in poison oak. And I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, you've done that before.
No, the first time I ever put up a tree stand, I had poison oak leaves hitting me in my face, and I had to miss a day of work when I was a teacher and go get shots on my butt because I had poison oak all over my body. I'm talking all over my body, face, chest, use the restroom in the woods, all over my body, guys. So I now know, like, I don't mess with that. Don't even think about going to that.
Good plan.
So finally, I'm like, F it. I went back to originally where I saw the tracks, and I put my climber stand on the ground, and I just sat on top of it. And I was like, "This is now my chair." Because I didn't even bring a chair. I didn't bring anything like that. I was like, "I'm going to be in a climber."
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
And to preface, I didn't have time to scout this thing. This is me showing up day one. This was going to be more of a scouting mission than seeing deer. I was like, all right, here we go. I'm going to sit. I finally open up my little Debbie, take a bite. I'm sitting there Snapchatting the scene, trying to post a little bit from Timberline Outdoors. Get my thermosol out. Some bugs are starting to come out. And as I'm going through all my pockets and stuff for all these things, I'm like, where are my car keys? And at that point in time, I'm like, oh, so I go through all my pockets. I literally turn my hunting pack upside down and I do this.
I can just see you panicking. This panicking on the rise.
And I was trying so hard because like I lose my top pretty quickly and things like that because I'm like, I think I may have CTE. Like just my memory of things now is just going downhill, and like I can't explain it any other way.
Yeah.
Like literally, I could put my wallet in my pocket, or Emily can tell me something, and then 10 minutes later, I'm like, "What are we doing?" And she goes, "I literally just told you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I knew that." But that's the same with my keys. And I think it's just like I get excited and I just black out, and then all of a sudden, like, where did I put everything? So yeah, and I'm like, well, they're not out here. They're not in my pockets. They're not in my bag. They're not in anything. And so I'm trying to keep myself calm, cool, collected. Then finally, it's like, all right, I'm gonna have to go stomp through these woods to find keys. I texted Emily. I actually called her and said, "Hey, I lost." And I have one key for my car. This is the one key.
Oh, I didn't know that. There's no
space. Yeah, this is not like somebody runs me out of key, I drive home. This is towing, try to get a new key. How do you even get that like programmed to the car? Big bill. So I'm like, oh. Let her know, tell her my plan, tell you guys what's going on. And as I'm going to go on the stomping walk, there's a hunter coming out down the way. And he obviously sees me. I'm like on this tree line freaking out about my keys. So I walk over to him and I just give him the heads up, like, hey, bud, I lost my car keys out here. I'm going to be making noise for the next 20 minutes looking for them. Sorry. I wish I didn't have to do this, but I do. And he was the guy that knows the guy who owns the land a little bit and he's hunted there a bunch. And he was very helpful. He was saying, yeah, there's not a lot of climbing trees out there. He knows where 2 or 3 of them are. And he had a climber on one of them, but it broke recently. So he was just going to go sit with the blind. Fortunate enough, he had to do some other things to get it clean up the climber, actually. So he goes, he's going to be kind of loud for a little bit too. So then I go back and retrace my steps. And I'm like, don't panic. Don't get mad yet. Like, it's fine. Like, just make your calm collective. You will find these keys. Walking around, walk through the whole loop. I go back to, everything. I go back to where I exactly sat on that log pile. And I'm sitting exactly where I sat. And I'm looking in between trees, seeing if they fell in my pockets. I'm going to where I tried to set the climber up. Did I take him out? I'm looking there. I'm like sweeping the ground with my hands. And I walk back and forth where I've walked that whole time. I go near that guy again. I didn't know I was even close to him. So that's the second time I went over there. Stomping and being loud. I just left my climber and my hunting pack right there. The spot where I wasn't going to carry that thing around anymore. So it takes another 20 minutes to go through that loop to find nothing. Can't find the keys. It's not the only other option is to go up and back to where my car's parked and hopefully they're up there. And yeah, I go up there. I drop everything by my car. I'm looking around my car. Nothing. I'm starting to get on now. I'm starting to be like panic mode, agitated. Like I was really banking the last hope them being up here. And then nothing. And so I walked down the road a little bit to figure out where I was going to cross the street at. It's like, oh, maybe it's fell here. nothing. And when I got to the point where I was turning around, I'm getting very mad. I'm cursing under my breath. I'm picking up the phone to call Emily. I'm like, I'm really doing this. I grab my phone, and there they are on the side of the road. And I'm like, praise Jesus, hallelujah. Thank you very much. Yeah. And I didn't tell you this the day before. My work phone actually got broken.
Jeez.
I saw I had to go find on the side of the road because I left on top of my car. So then I had to go and look, and it just is like I did a lot of searching on the side of the road last weekend. And no bug trails or anything.
You just practice it.
I originally told myself, like, once I found them, like, if I do find them, it's a sign I should just be done.
Yep.
And just go home, like, don't press your luck. But no, I was like, screw it. It's 4 o'clock at this point in time. There's still some daylight here.
Yep.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go stand underneath the tree. I don't have a chair, so I'm gonna do. And so,
alrighty, we're back. Yeah. So Jesse just told us about his epic first deer hunt in the Wisconsin woods. At least that's what...
lost the keys. Oh, and then I mean, there's just a little extra part there. Lost the keys, wasn't gonna go back out. Said no, like, I'm out here. I wanna hunt. Went out, and then I went into the grassy area that split these two fields in the back. I knew originally that the guy was in the back corner of the field to what would eventually be my left. I just didn't realize how close until I finally got under my tree. I said where I was standing. I was either going from standing to, how they pose you for your T-ball photos.
Yeah.
With your hands on your knees, and you're like one knee down. That's what the positions I was going back and forth between for the next 3 hours. And so I see it, the blind over there, and I'm like, God damn it. But at this point in time, I didn't care. I was like, I just want to hunt. I want to stand. I'm tired of moving, trying to do all this stuff.
Yep.
And then I get about 6:30, just absolutely starts downpouring, lightning above me. And I get soaked on the way back to the car. And I was like, all right, hunt 1, Wisconsin. That will be one I will never forget, but not for a good reason.
Yep.
It was brutal.
Even though it was brutal, it sounds like, especially after the hunt with your kids, then sounds like maybe you got a game plan on this property now. Next time you go.
Yeah. So as I was saying, when the boys and I left, we saw kind of this where the deer come from. Because if I had to guess, we saw the deer with the path they were heading within this grassy area and that one of those back fields. But those deep woods I was talking about.
Yep.
There was, when I was doing my walking, there's like a little grassy path that kind of goes back into that. I don't know how far back it goes, but it goes back there. And that's something I want to kind of push back there for. If I had to guess, that's where they're coming from. They just kind of maybe make their way out that way to eat on the beans a little bit.
Question is, when you go back there to try to hunt it, are you bringing the climber, or are you just gonna say hell with it, bring a chair?
Dude, I'm gonna take that guy's word. He's said he's been hunting for a long time. And there's very few climbing trees there available.
Yep.
So no, I'm not. I'm not gonna haul that thing back out there and pick around with it for it to not work.
Yeah.
Like, at this point in time, I'd rather just take the chair out. Because even going back in that path, I'm not sure there's gonna be a spot for a blind either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just take a chair the first day, and then obviously once you know what you got, then figure out.
Get it figured out. Yeah. And there's a little spot that's where you park. That's part of the volunteer public access too. There's a little bit of woods. It's almost like a wood island, and it's surrounded by corn. Nobody goes back there from the one time I went out there, I guess 2 times, there was nobody out there.
Which, hey, you never
So
know.
I'm imagining that guy, because it was the same guy in the blind both days. I'm imagining he was doing all day sits, like, already. Because I got there like at noon the first day, he was already there. and he didn't leave until I left. And then we got there about 2 or 3 the following day, and he was already there set up. Like,
Dang.
said, hey, why not? If you're gonna do it, go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited
Now,
when you go back out. See what happens. I'm excited to see what happens when you go back out.
yeah, I want to try to do a morning hunt next time and see if I could beat the guy out there.
Yeah.
Go to that spot. I don't know if it was successful or not. Where he was sitting at and where we saw the deer, they're kind of up on the hill. So I don't know if they were too high for him to like see. If he was too low and all I could see was grass. If they were on the other side of it or not, they wandered their way down. They had plenty of time. It reminds me of what, like, my first bow kill. Remember how we were watching that little button buck come back and forth,
Yep.
and you're just watching it. So that probably been the timing he had. So yeah, I'm excited to get back out, scout more of that land. Nice thing is there's another spot within this county that I have in. That says volunteer public access. There's also public, just state-owned land I could hunt. There is, there's another thing. It's not volunteer public access, but there's another one where it's like almost corporations, something like own it, and then you could also go hunt it at the same time. So there's like just, I tell you, there's plenty of opportunity to go hunt public land out here, or at least some sort of public land. There's plenty of opportunity to do it. It just there's also plenty of hunters out here who are going to be out there.
Yep.
And I don't blame them. Like, yeah. It's just got to figure that part out.
So you plan then the rest of the year pretty much hunt Wisconsin public land?
Yeah, unless somebody tells me to go private.
Yep, I don't blame you.
So if somebody just says, hey, come out here and help me, I'm like, yeah, okay.
I'm in.
Yeah. Right? Or like try to build those relationships with people and go for it. But I think for this year, it's just going to be public. And I think so the place I was at, from my understanding, you can gun hunt too.
There you go.
Now, I don't think I'd go out there for gun hunting.
Yeah. Because
if it gets packed and it's rifle up here, like, I don't want to be around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I get that.
So, because some private or public land has a lot more space. That way, I'm not on top of somebody there.
Yep. I'm jealous that you've gotten out already. Obviously, I know it's only 2 days in, but still 2 more days you got out before the rest of us here in Illinois did. So I'm jealous of that. Kind of move off of that now. So Ryan already kind of talked about it in a couple podcasts ago. But kind of let Jesse talk about it a little bit too. So the Redneck and the Redcoat have been, part of the brand pretty much since I started it. And they've always kind of had some of their own segments. They were the first. Jesse and Ryan were the first 2 people that started filming on their own, other than just me filming them. They were the first 2. Especially you guys' first years, you guys were almost always together. And then here the last year or 2 is when you guys have now went more just because of life. Had to hunt more by yourself and stuff, but I do know you guys still like to be together a lot. So the Redneck, the Redcoat now have like the brand within the brand. If you guys haven't seen the logo, I'll put it up right now.
Kyle did amazing with that.
He did, man. He really did. And it was funny. All we did is we gave him a vague idea, and give a little bit Redcoat, some redneck looking guy, and make sure the original brand is somehow incorporated. And he did a great job. He really did.
Knocked it out of the park. Knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're trying to keep planning at least one brother-in-law hunt a year, bow season. And then this might be the last time Illinois shotgun for me, unless I just go down there and film. Because I'm not going to be able to be there opening day. That is also Wisconsin's opening day. And like I said, my principal's a pretty big hunter. He goes up north with his family to hunt and everything like that. And, seniority is going to rule there, which is what it is. It is what it is.
Yep,
and I'm not too upset about it because, maybe I see if I could take a day following Thanksgiving break because rifle season will still be going on up here.
Yeah.
Because that goes all the way. Like up here, we have I think like a week and a half solid, and then we even have more later on down the road. We're in Illinois, as you guys know, it's 3 days
Yep.
break.
Yep.
Stop yawning, man.
I know, man. It's late. It's late for us
Yeah.
dads anymore, man.
God,
Yeah,
it is.
it's like what 9:30? Yeah, 9:46. Past our
46.
bedtimes.
Very
Um,
past their bedtime.
yeah,
Yeah, I plan on doing that, but
getting old,
no,
Jesse.
we are getting old,
Uh-huh.
very old.
Yeah.
No, I'm super excited for that. So some of the content you may see come out might be just kind of having that part of it.
Mhm.
Um, you guys may know, like I don't know if anybody out there's noticed, but I'm not one to take a lot of things very seriously. So there's a good chance that if whatever you see published that day has a tinge of humor or like something you're confused
I
about,
love it.
maybe I'm not funny.
Yeah.
That's probably me.
I love it.
So
I can usually tell now without obviously we have a schedule that we follow. Um and so I know who posting, but even like say I'm like doing something and don't pay attention to what's posted, I can just watch a video and I can pretty much guess who made it. And I like that because I when it comes to at least the content creation side, I'm not those memes. I've made some videos like that, but they don't come to me as quick as like they come to you. So I like it because it gives us a different aspect to our content, and I'm hoping everybody enjoys it. Speaking of which, ever since even before they helped me start making content, and but especially since they started helping me making content, this has been the best off season we've ever had. I'm really excited to say that as a brand. Yes, I'm sure our two shows helped tremendously. We did the Illinois
yeah,
Deer Classic, and then we did the Illinois Deer and Beer Fest. I'm sure they helped quite a bit, but we've definitely put more off-season content than we normally have. We had the hog hunt, we had some turkey hunts, we had then the bear hunt, some fishing content. I'm coming out. I'm working on it. Before this podcast, I was working on a early season waterfowl hunt I did with a new team member, Cooper Elam. We had success there. I think you guys will enjoy watching that. Uh, yeah, I'm just excited. Well, speaking of which, did you film any of that when you went?
what?
Did you film with your camera any of your Wisconsin hunts?
Not camera, it's all on my phone.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know if you.
I got some content on my phone I can send you.
I didn't know if you even.
Especially if it comes full circle and I do actually get my first
Yeah.
Wisconsin deer this year.
Mhm.
I'll put it together.
Yeah, I'd
Make a
say
nice
just
little
wait.
episode
Just
out of
wait.
it.
Yeah, just wait.
Right now, like most of it, you guys saw the calm, cool collectiveness of it all.
Yeah.
You saw that day. Like, here's my thermocell shot, thermocell opening day. Here's this nice field. You may have saw the hot, sweaty mess I was in after trying to get my climber in a stand
It's a
this
great
week.
picture you sent us.
And that I was defeated. I
Yeah,
was defeated at
great.
that point in time.
It
Yeah,
was.
no, it was filmed. I'm pretty excited for what we're going for. I know getting some merch out for the
Yep.
redneck and the red coat and getting that out and just seeing that on a shirt is going to be awesome.
Yep.
And then
Excited for it.
just I know Ryan's been working his ass off with finding partnerships and
Working his
he's
ass
been
off, dropping some money on some new equipment.
yes, he has.
Yeah.
Cover your ears, Lindsay. Cover your ears.
I mean, they were cheap. They're cheap. Couple dollars here and there.
That's okay. Get
Yeah.
out of the gumball machine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
no,
I
I'm
mean,
excited. I'm excited for you guys. Yeah, I know you guys don't get to hunt as much together as you guys used to and want to, but
yeah.
at the same time, it just comes with life, and I know you guys will probably do your best to make time to hunt together when you can.
Yeah.
And what's awesome is our team is growing. We've added more people. Jesse's got a fellow team member up in Wisconsin and Green Bay. You guys may have saw the other day. Ray Vogel had him on Instagram where he caught some catfish. I'm sure you two might hook up at some point in time.
Yeah, we've already been talking a little bit. It's been a while, but trying to connect for some waterfowl hunting or even just deer hunting or just getting together, showing the ropes. He's been up here a little bit longer than I have. So maybe lean on him to learn more of the state regulations and things like that.
Yep.
Make sure I stay legal.
Yeah, yep. And another shout out to not a team member, just a friend. My Westana. I think I'm saying that right.
Was
Out in the woods.
Tana?
Westana. Either way,
It's
check him
not.
out, guys, on
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram. He's a good guy. He's been reaching out to me, a fellow Leo. I know
I'll
Jesse.
admit, I've had with him and I were chatting for a long time,
Hmm.
but then when I became this content creator and I got to be in the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Instagram,
Yep.
like I don't know my login to Instagram, and I can't remember the Thin Blue Line Outdoors, so I've just been permanently logged in Thin Blue Line Outdoors since then. And I feel bad because I forgot to send him like my number or my Facebook to say like, hey, let's keep contact that way. But I know if I switch out right now, I won't be able to get back in. So
Well,
West Tana, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm afraid that if I leave where I'm at right now on Instagram, I can't get back.
well, not tonight. You don't have to tonight, but just through the Thimble Outdoors, just say, "Hey, this is Jesse," and send the number. So when I see it, I
Okay.
go, oh, "Okay,
Okay.
yeah."
Yeah. I'm not trying to ignore anybody here. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
I'm really good with technology, but I forgot how to do that process.
Hmm.
So, but no, I want to goals for this year. I want to get out. Obviously, as much as at least as much as I've done in the past. I think that'd be cool with where I'm at in life with new place, new state, new all of that.
Hmm.
And I want to do a hunt on the farm still. That's still pretty big on my list. And maybe like a bow hunt, like early November.
Yeah.
That's when that place comes alive.
Yep.
And then
I'm gonna
I
try
would
and
love
get.
to be able to get my first Wisconsin deer.
That'd be awesome. It
You
would.
know, I've sworn off button bucks in the state of Illinois.
Button bucks beware in Wisconsin.
You might want to be on the lookout.
God,
Redneck's going to add to his
I
jacket.
hope it happens. I hope it happens. It'd be great. No, I'm excited for it, man. And Jesse would probably attest. I was happy for him because I know he wanted to go to Wisconsin, but I was trying to get him to stay and even come closer to me.
He was very much so advocating. Like,
Yeah.
come work at Lewiston, come work down here, come do this, come do that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tried to explain there's no jobs down there. He goes, you come be superintendent down there. There's one of those jobs open. I said, I literally can't be that. So
I was
know.
trying. I was trying, but that's all right. Like I said, I'm gonna have to come up to Wisconsin, either do a hunt fishing trip with you sometime.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
that
I know we've discussed, which we'll talk more in details as after season, maybe the hog hunt again. So, um, so that we got
yeah,
time. We don't. We got plenty of time for that.
right.
So yeah,
No,
no,
it'd be nice to get guys up here. I know Ryan and I were talking, like for right now, without having any access to private land or anything like that, it's not necessarily worth it to buy a tag,
yeah,
but to come up and film.
yeah,
So we were talking maybe during Illinois Shotgun, what my main focus is filming,
mm-hmm.
like bouncing between him and Ash and just like doing some like filming they wear
Yeah.
kind of multiple angles doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll be up here for Thanksgiving, or close to it
And then be
that
filming
next week anyway. So then he can come in and like just film and do all that. And then once hopefully I get access to private, then we can start talking about out of state tags and
Agreed.
really make it worth it to increase your chances of what you got. You know what I mean?
Yep, agreed. And you know, Ryan and I talked about this, and I really want to do this with you guys at some point in time. You know, we did the Texas hog hunt a few years ago, and we had a blast, and we want to do it again. But it'd be cool. I really want to go on a different type of out of state hunt with you guys somewhere. You know, whether we go hunt antelope, or elk, or whatever. Sometime in
Let's
the
go with them gators. Let's go with them gators.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. That
Really
if we take the family down there, it's nice and warm. We go on the beach.
That's what
Yeah, we could sell this. We could sell
we
this.
could.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go on a fan boat tour. We're gonna have our guns with us. We're
Yeah.
gonna get some alligators.
Perfect.
You guys go to the beach. Just
Alicia, Lindsay, Emily, listen to this. We'll take you to the beach. That's all you
There you
need.
go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get you to the beach.
Yeah.
And then we'll go
Deuces.
But hey, we'll be fair here. We'll play this. We'll play the game. You'll have time to go do whatever you want to do, and then we'll take everybody to the beach. Like,
Perfect. I'm on board here.
look, I think we got a grand scheme going here that we're gonna have to put this in action.
Agreed.
Big Blue Lions going gator hunting.
Uh-huh.
Gator hunting down now.
That'd be fun.
Well, no, those are my goals. I'm excited for, like you said, everything that we've done so far
Mm-hmm.
for Fourth and Blue Line Outdoors, like the progress. I think we made a lot of progress this year,
Agreed.
this off season, and I would be the past 3 months.
Mhm.
Like I think like you said, we've taken it from a one man thing where it was all on you, and like to help take that off of your plate a little bit. But even from that, you have, everybody's just invested, like just fully going for it, and like,
Agreed.
chasing that dream of making this the full-time gig eventually. It would be awesome.
Oh yeah, and I'll be honest, guys. I want to thank all our fans and whoever's listening to this too. When I started this in 2020, if you would have thought we would go to the Peoria show or the Bloomington show and have people from out of state say they recognize us, and then we go out of state. Nate went out of state. He was in Kentucky, and a nurse said, "Do you know those guys?" Because he's wearing one of our shirts. And Nate kind of, "Oh yeah, I know him." Because my husband loves
Nate was being Nate.
Yeah, and it's just if you told me that was going to happen in 2020, I would have said you're a liar. I had no
I
idea.
mean, we've done a lot in this short 3 years. You know what I mean? It's still an infant company, or whatever you want to call it, brand, social media, whatever it is. It's still it's infant stages. There's still a lot of growth to do, but I'm very happy and proud of what has been accomplished in that short amount of time.
Agreed.
Very much so.
Well, Jesse, before we end the podcast, you have any questions for me about either the season, any plans, or anything like that?
How bad do you itching to go out? I got a little scratch last weekend. Like I was out in it. I was there.
I'll be
despite
out
all the
October
terrible
1st.
things.
Yep. I'll be out October 1st with Nate. We're gonna try to get Nate his first deer. We're probably gonna go with you, shot your first deer, archery deer. So
get it done.
It's probably where we're gonna go. So that's
awesome.
The plan anyway. So yeah, super pumped. Yeah, we'll go ahead and end this podcast, guys. Again, appreciate all the support. Couple things before we end it. We got a new Facebook page, or a new Facebook group, I should say. It's Hunting with First Responders, brought to you by TBLO. It is for first responders. If you're not a first responder, sorry about your luck. But if you're a first responder, it's a Facebook page where we can talk about hunting, fishing, camping, etc. We don't shop talk. We don't talk about the job. There's other groups you can talk about that. You come to the group. We can discuss our passion, our hobby, hunting, trade hunts, give each other advice, whatever. But it's for first responders. The TBO team, Jesse, myself, Kyle, and so forth and so on, we manage it. Again, it's brought to you by us, but we're just helping keep the conversation going. That's all it is. It's for all the other first responders. At these 2 shows that we did this year, I had multiple first responders come up and say, I used to hunt, I want to get back into it, or I'm not a hunter, I want to start hunting, whatever, anything like that. And that's why we started this group, because obviously we only have so many team members, we only have so much access to so much property. We want to try to help other first responders, and it doesn't always have to be on us. We can get other first responders involved and stuff. Just super excited about that. Give a little shout out to some of our supporters, our people we've been working with so far. Number 1, Dominant Strands. I just got recurve. I don't know if you can see it, black and blue. Super excited. Probably won't use it for deer hunting this year, but Texas hog, I'm thinking it's gonna happen.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, so check out Dominant Strands. They're in Rushville, Illinois. They do, if you send your specs for your string, they do ship strings. So if you have a local bow shop somewhere, they can ship it to you or your bow shop. So check them out.
I think I'm on my last year. My strings I have currently. So that'll be coming up after the season.
So check them out. We have Rat Getters. Check out Rat Getters. Just tell them we sent you. No code or anything. Send them Tell him we sent you. He's a great guy, Gerard. He former firefighter and police officer. Great guy. Check them out. Mr. Rub. Check out Mr. Rub. Hopefully we have a link here too for you guys. All their stuff's delicious. But go to
Adding some more chili. We're getting into soup season and chili season now.
Yep. Go to bootlegproducts.com. Link will be down below. Check them out. Highly recommend it. Trying to think. I think that's pretty much everybody. I don't think I'm missing anything. If I am missing anybody, sorry. But again, and check our website. We do have some hats on there right now.
Yeah.
So and then we just had a long discussion earlier today. We have some t-shirts and hoodies coming with that logo behind Jesse and I right now. And like I said, I would have, if you're watching video, I would have flashed the Redneck and Redcoat logo. That's coming too. Super excited.
Very soon.
Yeah, very, very soon. It's going to be right around that October 1st, maybe a little later, but hopefully that first week of October, they are on the site ready to go. That's the goal I'm shooting for. And hopefully we have some more hats, camouflage hats, black hats, so forth and so on as well. So super excited about that. Appreciate all the support, guys. Like, subscribe, follow. We have, like I said, that early season hunt would have been out already by the time you guys watch this. And then this Friday, Kyle's bear hunt is coming out. He went back to Canada for a second time, had success. I can't wait to show you guys. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Jesse.
Take it easy, everybody.